Hey, it's Raven Tactical. This is June 27th, 2022. This will be the third time trying to do this while the chickens come in and screech during the video. Um, Again, it's been a while since I put a video out on this board. We've been really busy, really swamped. I'm busy right now trying to knock this video out for you guys. But I was just going to cover some things right now and kind of discuss where we're at, how things kind of one affects the other, right? So an overview would be this simple diagram here, right? And I know this kind of looks confusing with this, but so what I would say is when I started prepping was in 2010, right after the being in Baghdad. Saw some things that made me kind of question, like, man, what happens if our country gets to that point? How do you have food and supplies and all this? And I kind of looked at it from that angle. So this like slow decline from 2010 to about, let's say 2016. So that 6-year gap was kind of an odd time. Things kind of, some prices went up on ammunition, guns, supplies, food, and you saw different current events that were really weird. And like you saw things on the wall. I mean, this is when doomsday preppers kind of came out during that time, and prepping kind of became mainstream. Right about here, 2016, Trump won the election. To me, unexpectedly. I don't think that was something that the other side saw coming. I think people really underestimated the people's vote, and I think they underestimated us in general. What it did for us, though, is I looked at it as God's blessing for about a 3.5 year window. So in that, we would have time for people who haven't prepped to start prepping, for people in this kind of window to find stuff that are cheaper, form groups, work together, kind of hash out the issues, hash out training, kind of get stable. And this was that stable period where you could get things relatively affordable, and prices on food and prepping materials plummeted. Like a lot of the stuff, like you look at doomsday preppers, gone, show disappeared. You look at some of these, survival expo things, a lot of them died down. The interest was gone from the main people, because main people looked at it like, oh, we got a Republican and we're good to go. They'll save us, which is stupid. Here comes 2020. 2020 rolls around. The election goes to hell. The problems with that election are still not solved. So anybody thinking that, ooh, the red wave's coming because everything's so screwed up now, it's not. There is no coming back from this. So the election problems aren't fixed. So now we're here, which I call like, this is the slow. We increase slowly, like that roller coaster, chugging up. We hit this nice plateau of safety. It's coming up. We peaked here. This is the part where you're watching the car go up and down. But this one down is not just a gradual down, it's a straight down. We're seeing the decline and destruction of our country, and basically the end. This is the end of everything we know. The end of a republic, the end of our country in general. This is the same path Venezuela took and all the other countries did right before they collapsed. So we're heading straight vertically down. So the results that you're seeing right now are things like supply issues, food shortages, things like that. So do I see us plummeting at some point and hitting a wall? Well, there's always a bottom. It just depends what happens at this bottom. I don't see our country rebounding, going, oh yeah, we're going to be good because we voted people in. No. It's, here's our country for this generation. We're pretty much screwed. Hopefully by the next generation that we help, maybe there's something. Maybe that generation's a little hardier and you can start to rebuild, but I doubt it. I think this is written in stone and kind of an apocalyptic, Revelations kind of way. So in this, we're seeing things with the shortages. Everybody's talked about the food issues and fuel issues and the prices of everything going up. But things I've seen is just, even by us, stores are completely wiped out. You're seeing things like ibuprofen gone. I mean, I was in one of the bigger cities of Wisconsin, and it was interesting to see, like, a bigger city, ibuprofen gone. Some stuff was there, some stuff wasn't. It'd be like mac and cheese gone, this gone, noodles are gone. But you're seeing a lot of the shipping issues really being the problem. If it came from China, it's hit or miss. And that's kind of where it kind of goes to the weird Walmart side. Walmart today, as of June 27th, where I live, had Connexes, basically all the shipping container Connexes sitting outside, and they were using it. Basically, the trucks weren't even delivering it. The trucks all came in with the Connexes, dropped off Connexes. Walmart employees are unloading Connexes to get supplies into Walmart. What does that mean? Well, it meant they sat on a shipping container out in the ocean for a long time. Now they have somewhat of a catch up, but that catch up isn't exactly a full circle. You're seeing stuff that potentially was on a ship for, twice as long, 9 months as long. So the food may or may not be good, but they're going to try to sell it to you maybe cheap, and it might be a part of this time period where you see suddenly you go to Walmart and the fruits and everything are cheap for some reason, or the meat for some reason is cheap. Well, it's because the food sat on a ship and they're trying to get it before it totally expires out. You're going to see things too where they get laxed, and I mean, consider the FDA, whatever you want to call it, but getting lax in their standards and practices because manufacturers don't want to lose out on things. So you're going to start seeing people get sick from bad meat sales, bad milk sales, all these things. Some medical things. I would say, continue getting in shape, getting physically fit. I'm a prime example of someone that could lose 20 pounds, and I'm working towards it. We had a good holiday, vacation the last 4 days, so it was off the rails on the diet plan because you want to have fun and you don't want to sit there and work out. But getting back into it, got to lose some more weight. But medical, having the ability to avoid going to the hospital if you have to would be the term I would use. If you can treat at home and avoid going to the hospital where the care there isn't the same level as it used to be, customer service is terrible, and if you can avoid it at all, then go for it. I would say if you can take care and have friends and family that are nurses, doctors, EMS, and you can treat at home, do that first. I would avoid the hospitals at most. They're not staffed well anymore, and they're not staffed with the same quality of care of people. And then I guess too with medical, I would say know the difference between trauma and boo-boo. Like trauma is your IFAKs, like you go for Bayer Independent, like they got the Bayer Fax. Those are great, expensive, but they're great. But that's trauma. But then you also have to have things for cuts, scrapes, headaches, cold, fever, all these things. So there is a difference, and you can't put it all in one bag. It has to be separate. That way you're not, ripping open your IFAK and dumping everything out for a Band-Aid. And then to talk about chickens or, fowl, in general, or just livestock. So livestock, I mean, they're coming after people's livestock lately too, which is interesting. With the bird flu, they're coming after people's now homegrown chickens and home farms because they want to be able to kill that. Because the things they want to kill are, again, you won't be able to produce food. They don't want you to make food. So you have to watch yourself with that. Be careful who you sell eggs to, and be careful who you sell meat to. You never know. They might try to turn you in, or if they get sick or something, they might try to blame you for it. And the FDA, they've been going around and killing people's entire flocks. They've been banning people from doing, raising chickens or doing meat chickens or even butchering. So they've been going through and killing a lot of the backyard chicken livestock. So I mean predators. But then those are the two-legged predators, but then you got four-legged predators. So the thing that I've always liked with it is having live traps. I have a few. We had to borrow some more because we have to live trap for us this last couple weeks. We had raccoon predators. I'm assuming they were raccoons. raccoons because we found raccoon poop. They are crafty and they're mean, and yeah, you have to be careful with the raccoons. Yeah, so one thing would be to have live traps. The other is having feed on hand. I mean, I know it sounds obvious, but when we started doing chickens, we had maybe 10 to 15 in a flock, and we had, probably just a trash can with a couple bags of feed, so maybe 100, 150 pounds of feed. But at times we'd run out, and then it'd be like, oh man, I gotta go to the store and go get more. Now you're at the whim of the prices of whatever it's at. But having probably at least a minimum, what I would call a minimum is 500 pounds, that offsets you so that as you're shopping around or you're going to town for something, you're like, man, I could top off or I could add some to my existing stock. This allows you to at least hedge the prices a little bit. Yeah, feed has gone up. Places like Farm and Fleet and Thiessen's, they have had issues with keeping the stock up. They've been out. They've been sold out. And last week I bought the last 8 good bags of pellet feed just because I needed it to restock up what I had. And I thought I was going to be able to get more than that. And the rest were broken bags. That was it. So call ahead too so you don't waste your gas going for it. So, let's see. With that, that's just pretty much it. We're hoping to put out more content. We did hit the 1,000 subscriber moment. I'd like to try to do something at that for the 1,000 subscriber moment. I'm working on some ideas. We'll just thank you guys for watching the videos. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe. One big thing too I would like to add is I really like what God's Guns and Family does. They take prayer requests, and that's one thing I want to implement with this channel is being able to take prayer requests. So if you have one, email us or leave a comment with the prayer request. We'll try to help you out. With that, God bless. Be prepared.